Well, hello everyone, and thanks for joining me for another Roofing Contractor Q&A. I'm Jill Bloom, publisher of Roofing Contractor, and I'm with Roofing Contractor editor Art Eisner and Christopher Gray, Roofing Contractor managing editor. And we are honored to be visiting today with Ray Giovanni, the group director of the International Roofing Expo and Informa Markets. Hello, Ray. Thanks for being here today. And a very big announcement about 2021 IRE. I mean, the event is now moving from April to August in Las Vegas. And sounds like we're now, you're adding a virtual event in the spring. So let's start off. Can you tell us a little bit about the decision to move from April to August and just some of the goals?
Hi, Jill. Thanks for having me today. We kind of made the decision. We were starting to hear from manufacturers. We were starting to hear from, some of our audience that they just weren't comfortable with the April date. So we checked in with the NRCA and we, looked at some dates in the future, and we decided that an August date would be, sort of the best thing to do for, for both for manufacturers and the attendees. So we moved the event from April to August.
Thanks, Ray. Obviously, August in Las Vegas, it's going to be hot, number one. But let's walk it back a little bit and talk about the virtual event. I'm curious to hear about what you're hoping to add by having this component in the springtime, and kind of will that kind of whet people's appetite for the in-person event, the show happening in the summer?
What we're finding out is we've started to get a little bit of practice, if you would, from some of our other sister shows on virtual events. And what we seem to be doing is attracting a different audience than we normally would to the in-person event. So we're hoping that with the move, and don't forget, this is the second time we've moved this year. We moved from February to April and then April to August. We realize that not everybody is going to be able to participate in the in-person event in August. So we're hoping to capture a lot of the education and a lot of the essence of the show, maybe new product launches. It's a buying show, and perhaps, it's still the season in late February, early March for manufacturers and attendees to see new products and services. So by offering this a virtual event in the sort of the original time frame of the originally scheduled event, we'll be able to, kind of accommodate, sort of both audiences. So those that can or cannot make it, in the spring, and then those that can attend in, at the in-person event, and everything that goes with that in-person event, in August. So it's to cast a wider net. And what we've also found out too is that, and again, from some of our other sister shows, is that there's like I said, there's a whole different audience that attends the virtual event. So I think that sort of expands our audience and who we can reach.
Well, let's talk about some of the specifics of that virtual event. You're planning live and on-demand educational sessions, as well as a virtual kind of show floor. How with a product showcase, how will that work?
That's exactly true. So we'll have each day we'll have some live sessions, excuse me, and we're still working out, that, because it's just sort of been announced. And then there'll also be on-demand sessions. We'll probably have sessions scheduled throughout the day, like in 45-minute blocks. So that way you can add them to your calendar, but everything will be on demand. And there will be content that's available in the in March that's not available in August, and then there will also be sort of continuation of classes, and there will also be some of the same classes, because again, some people that aren't going to be able to attend in March can do it in August, or vice versa. So there's going to be a mix of everything.
Got it. Well, before I hand it over to Chris for some questions about the in-person event, will attendees have to register twice? Meaning, if they're joining the virtual event, they've got to sign up for that, and then they'll also take steps to be part of the in-person event?
That's correct. Yes, they'll have to register for both. They're two separate events, so they'll register for the virtual event, and then yes, when it comes time, they'll register for the in-person event along with the hotel block and all that sort of stuff.
Got it. Okay, over to you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you again for joining us, Ray. We really do appreciate the time. Now, obviously, a big question will be what sort of health and safety measures are going to take place and happen for the in-person event.
Well, we're still waiting on the city of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada to kind of, kind of dictate where that's going to go. I mean, we have in place, corporately our, Informa All Secure, safety measures. So those will obviously be in place. But again, we're not sure what a live event is going to look like in August, with the vaccine coming into play. If masks are still dictated, of course, that will be part of it, and any other safety measures. But we still, like I said, the venue, the city, and the state all have to kind of chime in first before that. But it will be a safe show, in-person show, no matter what the kind of protocols are.
How important would you say the availability and success of a vaccination program to making this work? Will the vaccine impact this event a lot, or do you feel it'll be fairly ready to go?
I think that, again, this is me speaking personally, not a corporate, answer, but I think it'll make everybody feel more comfortable, going. I think the issue with all of our shows right now has been, I think perhaps attendees, especially if they could drive to a show, whether it's in Las Vegas, New Orleans, Chicago, wherever, they might be okay. But I think the real issue has been the manufacturers. A lot of companies aren't comfortable sending employees, to a certain destination because mostly they have to fly in and set up and do all that sort of stuff. So I think some sort of vaccine is really going to make, both on a corporate level and, on an attendee level, much more apt to attend a show. So we think it's only, more positive news for us going forward.
Now, regarding the actual show itself, could you tell us maybe a little bit about it? Is there going to be the typical things people come to expect from IRE, like the keynote, seminar sessions? You could just talk a little bit about that.
Yes, we're still working on the keynote. We're again still trying to figure out what that looks like because usually it's held inside in a ballroom. We've already talked about perhaps, having it outside, early morning because it's still sort of pleasant out, at 90 degrees at, 8 a.m. instead of 120. So anyway, we're still working through that. But and also to the sessions, are we going to have to socially distance, come August? Is it going to be sort of back to normal or whatever the new normal is? Or are we going to have to do half the size of the session? So again, it's still a little bit too early to tell on that, but yes, we will again make sure all the safety protocols are in place.
I presume that's the same for things like the charity event, like Community Service Day and that sort of thing.
Exactly. So, again, it's difficult right now, and kudos to the team. We're sort of kind of pivoting every day, every week, to kind of understand, what we're able to do. But really, again, it's going to be the city and state that really sort of dictate what we're going to be able to do come August. So we suspect by, late winter, early spring, Q1 at some point. We'll have a better idea of, because Vegas isn't open right now. So there's no sort of really way to kind of say exactly what we're going to do because there's no sort of, there's been no guinea pig show. There's been nobody to go in there first to kind of do it. So, we'll be ready to do whatever, it needs to be done, to put on that safe show.
Now, of course, people have to be flying in and doing all sorts of things, doing hotel reservations.
So if you were booked already for the February and or the April show, you'll be contacted to move your reservations to August. So, and then the regular people, manufacturers or attendees that haven't yet booked a hotel room, they'll just go on to the website, as soon as registration is open, they'll be able to, go to the hotel block and book everything.
Thanks, Ray. I was just wondering if maybe this is more suited for the virtual event too. Are there some specific digital tools that are going to be in place to help connect exhibitors with attendees and vice versa?
Well, we have an excellent matchmaking tool, so they'll be able to set appointments. So you'll be able to go in, so attendees will be able to, set appointments with certain exhibitors. Exhibitors will be able to say, it's like, I have this time block open for somebody live to be accessible. So say from 2 to 4, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So they can set up, they can block out the time that they're available or not available. They can also set themselves up available for drop-in meetings. So say, even though they don't have any set appointments from 9 to 11 each day, that they're going to be available for a drop-in meeting. So that means if I'm an attendee and I'm like, I want to, go to a certain exhibitor, I'm able to see if they're, open, if they have a time slot open at a specific time. And just like you would at an in-person event, you would walk by the booth or, go into the booth and just drop in, and then you could sort of click on the link and you can talk to that person live, call them, or, do chat with them via email.
Excellent. And also, of course, you can go to roofingcontractor.com and you can find all the details for IRE there as well. And everybody, please stay safe and healthy, and we look forward to seeing you next time.